Cybercrime. Have you heard this term before? Of course you did, but we might not know much about it. So let's see what cybercrime is and how it was started. In an increasingly interconnected world, the rise of technology has brought about remarkable advancements and conveniences. However, alongside these positive changes, there has emerged a darker side, the realm of cybercrime. In our day to day life, we might have heard about such cases of cybercrime like fraud calls regarding payments, email scams, credit debit card scam. We are still not aware about it. So let's understand what cybercrime is. So, cybercrime refers to criminal activities that are conducted through digital means, leveraging technology to target individuals, organizations, or even governments. So, what we understand with the cybercrime term is basically it is an illegal activity which is performed by an individual or an organization who are involving in such kind of illegal activities, and what they do is they target individuals and organization and steal their data to gain financial profit. So let's see what are the types of cyber crimes. Like, the first is cyber attacks. These range from distributed denial of service attacks that overwhelm websites to ransomware attacks that encrypt data and demand payment for decryption. In the cyber attacks, what the hackers do is they they insert ransomware attacks on the websites which the user is using, and then they encrypt the user's data and demand payment from the user for its decryption. Let's see the another types. The another is phishing. In this, the attackers use deceptive emails or messages to trick users into revealing sensitive information such as your login credentials or credit card details and much more. So with the help of these images, you can easily understand like how the phishing process works. Like, the attacker sends a phishing mail to the user, which is his target, and what the user do is the victim clicks on phishing link and visit the fake website which is created by the hacker. And the phishing website through the phishing website, the hacker collects all the important credentials of the user and misuse them to access the private information of the user and demand a lot of money to return it. The next is malware. What is malware? It is a malicious software including viruses, worms, and trojans that can infect systems and steal information, disrupt operations, or enable unauthorized access. Oh, this is the another technique through which the hacker attacks the user's system. Now, the next is online fraud, which is nowadays very common and we all are aware of it. So, what it is, let's see. Criminals exploit online platforms for financial gain, including online shopping fraud, investment scams, and cryptocurrency fraud, and many more. So, in this image, you can see the hacker sends the message to the user like you have to and give your UPI pin to accept the payment, and unfortunately the user has didn't notice that, and simply he has provided the UPI pin, or we can say he has ultimately given the access to the hacker to access his account. So in this way the whole process works. You guys have heard this term hacking before? If no, so let me introduce you with this term hacking. So, in the ever growing advanced technology, hacking is nowadays very common, and so it is very important for all of us to be aware of this term. So, let's understand what hacking is. Hacking in cybersecurity refers to the misuse of devices like computers, smartphones, tablets, and networks to cause damage or corrupt systems, to gather information of users, and to steal data and documents or disrupt data related activity. Hacking is not always a malicious act, but it is most commonly associated with illegal activity and data theft by cybercriminals. So basically, what a common people will understand with hacking is it is an illegal activity which is performed by an individual or group of people who misuse the user's data, steal their data, and uh, disrupt the data related activity to gain financial profits from them. But it's not always like that, as there are some people who are working in this field to find out the vulnerabilities in the system, to find out the potential loopholes in the security defenses. So, moving ahead with the types of hackers who are involved in these activities. So, the first type is black hat hackers. Black hat hackers are the bad guys behind the hacking scene, as they are the individuals or groups who engage in cyber activities with malicious intent, and they violate the ethical and legal boundaries and exploit the vulnerabilities of the system for personal gain. As what they do is they steal sensitive personal information of the user, compromise computer and financial systems, and take down the functionality of websites and critical networks. Let's see the another type, white hat hackers. White hat hackers can be seen as the good guys who attempt to prevent the success of black hat hackers through proactive hacking. They use their technical skills to break into systems to assess and test the level of network security, which is also known as ethical hacking, as they work to identify and fix vulnerabilities of the system for the security of the users, and they are hired by the organization to test and discover potential holes in the security defenses. Let's see the another type, grey hat hackers. Grey hat hackers sit somewhere between the good and the bad guys, as they also find out the vulnerabilities of the system but without intending to harm the users for personal gain. But unlike white hat hackers, they do so publicly, which alerts malicious actors to the existence of the vulnerability in the user's system. So they are also considered as an illegal organization who are working in such kind of illegal activity.
You might be aware of this kind of message. This is an example of a phishing attack. Phishing attacks are fraudulent emails, text messages, or phone calls and websites that are designed to trick users into downloading malware, sharing sensitive information or personal data like social security, credit card details, bank account numbers, or login credentials. Phishing can be of various types. We have bulk phishing, it is also known as spray and pray phishing. It involves sending out a large volume of generic phishing emails to a wide audience. These emails are not highly personalized and are designed to cast a wide net in the hope that some of the recipients will fall for the scam. Bulk phishing emails often contain generic subject lines and messages that may not be directly relevant to the recipients. You can see Microsoft's example. Now we have spear phishing. Spear phishing is a more targeted form of phishing. In spear phishing attacks, cybercriminals carefully research the victims to craft highly personalized and convincing messages. They might use information gathered from social media, professional networks, or other sources to make the email appear more legitimate. Here, the goal is to increase the chances of the victim falling for the scam due to personalized nature of the attack. We have bank example here. Next, we have business email compromise. Business email compromise (BEC) is a type of a cybercrime that exploits the use of email to defraud businesses. The scammer poses as a trusted figure and asks for a fake bill to be paid for sensitive data they can use in another scam. BC scams have exposed billions of dollars in potential losses. Criminal compromise legitimate business email account through various hacking schemes, including social engineering and use of malware. BC affects large global corporations, governments, and individuals, with current global daily losses estimated at approximately $8 million. Specific vulnerable sectors of are real estate, finance, education, healthcare, and information technology. Next, we have SMS phishing. It is also known as smishing. It is a type of social engineering attack that target victims via SMS messaging rather than email. Cybercriminals use smishing to lure victims into revealing information or installing malware by disguising as a trustworthy organization or a reputable person in text message. You can see a link is here. It will use to fraud someone. Next, we have voice phishing. Voice phishing or phishing is a type of cyber attack that uses voice and telephony technologies to trick targeted individuals into revealing sensitive data to unauthorized entities. They say they are calling from financial institutions such as a credit card company, and there is a problem with the customer's account that requires immediate action. They offer a exciting opportunities such as interest-free credit card or a highly discounted merchandise. They announce that the victim has won a cash prize, but they need additional information for the victim to claim that prize. And lastly, we have social media phishing. Social media phishing refers to an attack executed through platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Here, the purpose of such attack is to steal personal data or gain control of users' social media account. We have LinkedIn example. Do rapparigiri rapparu rapparigiri rapparu.
In our day-to-day life, we see many fraudulent cases happens around us. Like you guys might have heard about the fraudulent activity, like the hackers steal the personal sensitive information of the user and get the unauthorized access on it and demand a lot of money for returning it. And they also pretend themselves as the user. And we have also heard about the debit credit card frauds in which they steal the card details of the user and transfer a large amount of money to their account. So have you ever thought like what are these things and how these things happen? And have you heard about identity theft? If no, so let's understand what identity theft is. Identity theft is a type of cybercrime in which an individual's personal and financial information is stolen and used without their permission for fraudulent purposes. The stolen information can include things like credit card numbers, bank account information, passwords, and more. The thief uses this information to impersonate the victim, often for financial gain or to commit various fraudulent activities. So, with the help of this image, you can understand better like the hacker is trying to steal the card details of this lady. And in the second image, the hacker is trying to steal all the data from the computer systems and transfer it to their system. So let's understand what are the several ways in which the identity theft can occur. So the first way is phishing. So have you heard this term before? Let's understand it. Cybercriminals send fake emails, messages, or websites that appear to be from legitimate sources like bank or government agencies to trick individuals into providing their personal information. So let's understand better with the help of this example. This is a fake mail sent by the My University to a user which says that this email is meant to inform you that your My University network password will expire in 24 hours and the user have to click the link below to update his or her password. So this is a fake mail sent by the hacker. So let's understand like what several things can occur if the user click on the link. So if the user is if the user clicks the links, the user is redirected to myuniversity.edurenewal.com, which is a bogus page appearing exactly like the real renewal page, where both new and existing passwords are requested. So the attacker who is monitoring the page hijacks the original password to gain access to secured areas on the university network. The second thing which can be happen is the user is sent to the actual password renewal page. However, while being redirected, a malicious script activates in the background to hijack the user's session cookie, and this gives the perpetrator privileged access to the university network. So in this way, the hackers send the fake emails to the user by which they grab the user's data and exploit them to gain financial profits from them. Let's see the another way, data breaches. Do you guys know what data breaches is? If no, so let's see. Hackers gain unauthorized access to databases containing personal information, often from businesses or institutions, and then they use or sell this information for fraudulent purposes. So, what basically happens in data breaches is hackers have the unauthorized access on the database containing personal information of the user who is belonging from a businesses or institution, and what they do from their data is they use their data or sell for the fraudulent purposes. So let's see how data breaches happens. First, uh, they attempt to send or pass the malware to the user's computer system, and they breach their security of the user system, and then they attack, and the hacker with the help of algorithm hacks the user system, and through which they get the access of the user system, and by getting the access they sell the with the help of digital platform they sell the users data to the other parties, and with that they gain financial profits. So in this way data breaches work. Now let's see the other way of identity theft is skimming. What skimming is? Criminals use devices to steal credit or debit card information when individuals use ATMs or point of sale terminals. So, in this, what the cyber criminals do is they use certain kind of devices to steal the credit or debit card information when user performs any kind of transactions. So you guys might have seen many times like the cases we heard like if somebody gone to ATM to uh, perform any kind of transaction. So sometimes what the hackers do now, they put a certain kind of device where we enter the pin, which records the user's data, and when the users exit from the ATM, just they send all the data from this device to their system, and in this way they transfer all the amount from the user's account to their account. So in this way the identity theft works.
Now we have types of malware. Firstly, we have viruses. A virus usually comes from an attachment in an email that holds a virus payload or the part of the malware that performs a malicious action. Once the victim opens the file, the device is infected. We can see an example like if we are trying to play something, the recorder is saying that it doesn't support this kind of file. Next, we have worms. Worms have the ability to copy themselves from machine to machine, usually by exploiting some sort of security weakness in a software or operating system, and they don't require user interaction to function. Next, we have ransomware. It is one of the most profitable and popular types of malware against cybercriminals. This malware installs itself into victim machine, encrypts their file and then turns around and demands a ransom to return the data to the user. You can see this kind of message pop-ups. Next we have Trojan. Trojans are harmless application tricking users into downloading and using them. Once up and running, they can steal personal data, crash a device, spy on activities or even launch an attack. Next, we have scareware. Cybercriminals scare us into thinking that a computer or smartphones have become infected to convince victims to purchase a fake application, a typical scareware scam. You might see an alarming message while browsing the web says, "Warning, your computer is infected," or "You have a virus." Cybercriminals use these programs and unethical advertising practices to frighten users into purchasing rogue application. You can see this kind of pop-up. दीदी तुम सुनाना कैसा था लगा दूं ना अबे दोबारा सुन तो ले खुद को रागनी को भेज देता हूँ पूरा पूरा सुनेगी भी मिल जाएगा गुड
Cyberbullying. We have heard this word before, and we have also seen many cases of cyberbullying around us, but we still ignore it. But it's not the matter of ignorance, rather matter of concern towards this crime. Also, in India, around 85% of children have reported being cyberbullied, and it's the highest in the world. We see many cases amongst the teenagers, like in schools or like in online platforms. We heard many such cases of cyberbullying. So let's first understand what cyberbullying is. Cyberbullying refers to the act of using digital communication tools such as social media, email, text messages, or online platforms to harass, threaten, embarrass, or intimidate another person. It's an online form of aggressive behavior that can have serious emotional, psychological, and even physical consequences for the victim. So, what basically we understand with cyberbullying is it's an act of harassing, threatening, embarrassing, or intimidating an individual with the use of various communication tools like such as social media, email, text messages, and other kind of online platforms for the entertainment purposes. So, let's see what are the various forms of cyberbullying. The first is harassment, which is repeatedly sending hurtful or threatening messages, comments, or emails to the victim. The another is framing, which is posting hostile or inflammatory messages or comments online with the intention of provoking anger or arguments. Here in this image, you can see this lady is receiving many messages, the hurtful messages or the comments from her friends, or maybe from her classmates, which says like you are a loser, you have no friends, you are fat, you are ugly, such kind of hurtful messages which can harass her or can hurt her, which in turns led her to like take many hurtful decisions, and it is very dangerous um crime, like which can result in victims death as well. So this is what we call it as cyberbullying. So let's see the various other forms. Exclusion, which says which is deliberating excluding an individual from online groups, chats, or activities in a hurtful manner. Like we have heard such things like someone has removed a person from a particular group or chats, which can hurt that particular person or an individual in some other manner. Impersonation, creating fake profiles or impersonating the victim online to spread false information or to damage their reputation. Outing, which is sharing personal or private information, images, or videos without the victim's consent in order to embarrass or humiliate them. Cyberstalking, which is persistently following, tracking, or monitoring someone online, often causing them to feel fear for their safety. Trolling, which is a very common cyberbullying issue, which is making intentionally offensive or controversial comments online to provoke strong actions from others, which can which can like hurt someone very badly and can give serious damage to their reputation as well. The next is doxing, which is revealing someone's private or personal information, such as their address or phone number, without their consent. So, these are the various forms of cyberbullying. In this video, we will see how we can report the cybercrime. So, if you have encountered with any type of cybercrime, so you can report that. As our government has already provided us a platform where we can report any type of cybercrime we have encountered with. So you have to visit the official website of the cybercrime reporting portal to report any cybercrime. Okay, so the Indian government has launched the cybercrime reporting portal specifically for reporting cybercrimes. So this is the URL of the website where we can report the cybercrime. So once you open the portal, then you will see this option report cybercrime. So if you want to report the cybercrime, then you have to select this option, and then you will then they will ask you to file a complaint, and you have to accept the privacy policy, and then you have to enter your like if you are an existing user, so you have to enter your login credentials, and if you are a new user, so then you have to select this option, and you have to fill all this information. So let's fill it. So when you fill all these details and then click on submit, then you will reach this at this page, and then it will ask you they will ask you to enter the complaint information. So you have to choose you have to provide your personal details, like fill in the required information such as your name, contact details, address and email ID, and ensure that the information provided is accurate and up to date. So then you have to choose the appropriate complaint category, like select the relevant category that corresponds to the type of cybercrime you have experienced. The informations may include hacking, phishing, online fraud, cyber harassment, or others. And then you have to provide the detailed information, like describe the incident in detail, providing all relevant information such as the date, time, and nature of the cybercrime. Include any supporting evidence if you may have, such as screenshots, emails, or messages. Like you have to select the category of your complaint, like which type of complaint you want to file. So if you have encountered like online and social media related crime, so you have to select this option. So and corresponding to that, you have to select your subcategory of the complaint, like in which category it lies. Okay, so let's just select this cyberbullying option, and then you have to fill all the details regarding date and time on which this incident has taken place, and then if any delay in reporting and as then you have to select these options, and then you have to save as draft and next, and when you click on next, then it will ask you to the suspect details, complaint details, and at the end you have to submit the report. Okay, so when you attach the supporting documents, like if you have any supporting documents or evidence related to the cybercrime, upload them as attachments. Ensure that the files are in the specified formats and within the size limit mentioned on the portal. And then when you click on submit the complaint, so just review the information you have provided and ensure its accuracy. Once you are satisfied, submit the complaint by clicking on the submit button, and then they will provide you a reference number. Okay, so note that complaint reference number. After submitting the complaint, you will receive a unique reference number. Make a note of this number for future reference and tracking, and follow up with the authorities like the cybercrime cell or law enforcement agency responsible for handling cybercrime complaints will review your complaint. It is essential to follow up with them periodically, providing any additional information or cooperation they may require. Okay, so at the end, you have to follow up with the authorities. Okay, so that's it about how we can report cybercrime.